And it was kind of the end of insanity, which is the most perilous and the most God forbidden, almost rebellious and almost off his ropes, off his ropes. His most crazy side, right? And going into the essence of Maido, which is the beginning. So that little gap that you see is what I call limbo, right? But here's the thing. So if you think the hybrid is me, meaning the actual hybrid is me, then you're wrong, as I was. I didn't realize. So imagine 내 한이야. 한국 오면 그게 내 한이. 저 한국 갈 거예요. So imagine this. Imagine okay, here's a very simple anecdote. Imagine every time you use a power, or imagine every time somebody uses a superpower, it affects something somewhere, right? So imagine if Insanity was to use his manic insanity side, like a little part of it. So that would leak into a compartment inside my consciousness or my brain, I guess, somewhere. And every time I switch to Maido, the remnants of that has to overflow to something else. It's kind of like creating a time paradox, right? And that's what's been happening. So here's the thing: if when you change into Maido, when I change into Maido, it's essentially because I'm revisited by a feeling that triggers the same notion of that emotion that I felt during that traumatic state to have me come out, right? As Maido or such. But that's essentially not a good thing sometimes. When you summon someone like that, someone that you've disassociated yourself from, it's essentially not a good thing, right? Now why else would you? Why would it be a good thing? I've learned my lessons. I've learned how to forcefully. 오빠 홍보 보여줘? 그게 뭔 말이지? 홍보가 뭐지? So essentially, when you turn into Maido, and when I turn into Maido, it drains the living soul out of me, like the same as Insanity. But okay, so the point I'm coming to is, every time I switch, it has to go to a certain spot. It has to go into a certain compartment. You can't just switch and not expect the damage to just not be there. 해석은 해드릴게요. So here's my thing. Where does it go to? Where do you compartment? Where do you compartment it? Where do you fucking? I can't even talk. Where does it all go to? So it goes to a part in your conscious mind where you have so successfully locked it away as a kid, or maybe in your early teens, and you've dared not to look ever since. Because if you look, what's behind that door? Compartmentalize. Fuck my life. Thank you, Sophie. I can't remember the name for the living hell of me. Compartmentalize these emotions into a space, right? So that's what I've been doing. But here's my thing. 제 이상형이 어떻게 되냐고요? 당신이요. So here's the thing, yeah? So when I compartmentalize, can't even know why it's such a hard word to say. When I compartmentalize a lot of these things, I dare not to look because I'm scared of how big it might have gotten. But here's the thing, when I've, every now and then I'm forcefully, and this is what I do when I go lucid dreaming. I look for these doors, and Maido has so gracefully ever tried to stop me, and I've stopped because otherwise he does punish. But here's the thing, yeah. So the hybrid, as I'm going to the hybrid, right? It goes to a spot where for me, metaphorically, heaven and hell meet. It's kind of like the limbo. It's not heaven, it's not hell, it's like it's in the middle. It's just, bear with me now, not in a biblical sense, but in a more metaphoric sense. And this is where I believe good and bad, right, notions are kept. Some that I can't remember, some that are essentially locked away and put away. So you might be asking, is hybrid another character? It's you know what I've realized? It's created an abomination. I like to call it an abomination, but not the abomination of something that repels. Is the character a part of me? No, I don't think so. I don't think it is. And this is essentially this is where I want to begin but this is where I've always wanted to introduce the story aspect to it. So I'd like to announce pretty early that I'll be delaying my hybrid album, and I'll be delaying it to not too long, like a month or two, maybe 2 months. And I do want to release it into a full EP. I know we might be like, oh my God, but we just got the Insanity EP. No, but that's the thing. You'll understand when you see it. The hybrid is literally the initiation of Insanity. It's when Ian walks into the door, and it's when Ian walks into the door, right? I'll call it the forbidden door, right? This is kind of where we all come to, right? The forbidden door. He goes to the forbidden door, and he comes across a void, and in this void, he is met with something that he shouldn't have met. I mean, I don't know how else to put it really. So watching that and seeing that, it essentially, it's kind of like, do you guys know when somebody goes into like a tomb, like an ancient pharaoh's tomb, and then they, like that typical story when somebody accidentally opens something that they shouldn't, and they get cursed, and they unleash almost like an ancient titan of a curse or a god or something that they shouldn't have awoken. Before gods, there were titans, right? So essentially, this is kind of where I'm getting at. The hybrid is ancient. It's not a mummy, but it's an ancient. I shouldn't start with the daddy jokes because of the mummy. Okay, I'll stop. So anyway, so essentially that is kind of what the hybrid is. It's absolutely terrifying, equally terrifying, but so compelling that you can't look away from it. And what that meeting, that encounter, I'll call it the encounter, right? That could be one of the song titles, fuck it. The encounter happens, that's when Ian, when he first goes to the other side, gets the essence of the hybrid. Now listen, here's the thing. Mito has already existed. He has already been existing. Insanity hasn't been created up to the point, right? If you've seen Don't Go Insane, if you've seen So I Danced, and you've seen the progression of Ian turning into Insanity, that is the making of Insanity, hence the album Dear Insanity. But Insanity has not existed yet. I'm talking about the origins of the origins, right? So you might be thinking, did Ian just rock up to the other side and turn into Insanity, because the longer he was there, the more it took away from Insanity? I'd like to introduce one of the main reasons, actually, and context, if you must. So it's kind of like a paradox, you see. he is gifted almost a curse from the actual hybrid that exists in this realm, right? You might be thinking, but isn't that essentially you? Isn't that the creation of the unconscious mind of you? Now, hang on. I will hold it right there for you. I can't spoil too much, right? But here's the thing. So what does the hybrid look like? What is the creation of, I guess you could say, the excess of switching to Mito and essentially insanity? What is that? What is? I'm telling you, it's a paradox, because that essentially is the I guess you could say the beginning to insanity's journey. I can't explain too much, really. I can't explain too much. But I will say, sonically then, the hybrid album is going to be something that will fuse everything, you know. It's what you would imagine. It's what you would. Well, I don't know exactly what you would imagine, but you know. So yeah, okay. That's all I really wanted to say. I know I trailed off a bit because I was making something. But listen, a big project like this deserves a bit of time. Not too much, right? But I think it deserves a little bit of time. The hybrid is actually something that I now have an understanding of. I am essentially the product of the hybrid. I'm not the hybrid. I'm the product of the hybrid, right? Marry me, my love. Big project, DPR soul님. 맞습니다. 빅 프로젝트예요. 제가 원래 약간 조만간 왜 욕 같지? 조만간 앨범을 내려고 했거든요. 그러니까 앨범을 내려고 한 게 아니라 그 림보, 스킨스, 약간 이 노래들을 이제 하이브리드라는 앨범을 이렇게 딱 통합해가지고 이제 내려고 했는데, 생각을 해보니까 하이브리드라는 캐릭터, 하이브리드라는 개념이 저한테는 너무 큰 너무나 큰 의미고, 또 이 세계관에 대한 의미가 너무 크다 보니까 그렇게 그냥 할 수가 없더라고요. 그래서 양해 부탁드릴게요. 시간이 좀 걸리더라도 이거 제대로 제가 만들어서 내드리겠습니다. 대신 곡 많이 넣을게요. 약간 좀 제대로 된 EP로 내서, so you're getting the Mito, Insanity, and the Hybrid EP. Boom. And fuck it. I'm gonna go. 그러고 나서 이제 쇼하러 갈게요. 이게 세 개로. That's it. You know? Someone clarify if he's British, because it sounds like he's slightly British. Thank you. I can't really. Okay, well, it sounds. I can see why it could sound a little bit British, but no, I'm from Australia. I am losing it a little bit though. I will say, it is twisting quite a bit. But you know, for the most part, I'm still Australian. I'm Aussie. So you know, that's right. 미친 진짜 기대할게요. 기대해도 돼요. 이 하이브리드라는 앨범이 사실 저한테는 큰 의미인 게 뭐라 해야 되냐? 약간 그러니까 하이브리드라는 존재는 인세니티가 마이토로 변했을 때 그 변하는 과정이 제일 위기적인 과정이라고 제가 옛날에 말씀드렸을 거예요. 근데 그게 왜 그러냐면 인세니티의 끝이 매니카이라고, 매니카이를 치면 보통 가드 컴플렉스라고 세상이 약간 내가 진짜 완전 신이 된 것처럼 세상에 하나도 겁을 안 먹어요. 근데 겁을 안 먹는 순간 뭐든지를 할 수 있다는, 뭐든지 가능하다는 영감을 받아요. 근데 그게 왜 위험해지냐면요. 약간 그게 가면 갈수록 내가 만약에 이거를 컨트롤할 수가 없다. 그러면 만약에 내가 인세니티로 계속 변동이 안 되고 계속 그 자를 계속 가져갔었다면 모르겠는데, 이제 문제는 애기 같다고요? 애기 아닌데요. 그 문제는 이제 저로 다시 돌아오잖아요. 근데 저로 다시 돌아오면, 자, 그러면 약간 이런 거죠. 일을 완전 이렇게 많은 일을 이렇게 막 저질러 놓고 제가 돌아와서 이제 이거 뒤처리 다 해야 되는 거예요. 근데 너무 말도 안 되는 상황을 막 벌어놓은 거예요. 이걸 어떻게 다 정리하지? 어떻게 다 정리하지? 막 이러는 거죠. 아무튼 anyway. 그래서 어쨌든 그 중간에 있는 캐릭터가 하이브리드라는 캐릭터인데, 하이브리드는 제가 아니라고 생각해요. 제가 아니에요. 그게 하이브리드의 영향을 받은 모습이 림보인 거고, 근데 림보에 나오는 캐릭터는 하이브리드는 아닙니다. 그래서 이 하이브리드라는 캐릭터를 제대로 정보를 인트로덕션 따다 징장싱 하고 이제 딱 이제 알려드리기 위해서 이 앨범을 좀 제대로 만들고 싶다라는 의미입니다. So as I was saying, that's one of the reasons why I really wanted to make 머리 봐. 갑자기 얘기하다가 왜 죄송합니다. Sorry, 아까 머리가 지금 엉망이다 보니까 제가 잠깐 머리를 좀 올릴게요. 아무튼 여러분, anyway, so as I was saying, yes, so the hybrid album, yada yada yada, and I'll be coming out with a proper introduction to that. I want to properly package that. I want to properly create that. For those that are missing the Mito era, for those that are missing the now Insanity era and going into the hybrid era, fear not. I'm going to come back to Mito. I'm going to come back to Insanity. Just think of it as a roller coaster, and you come back to it. So I do have a lot in the bank. I am going to release eventually a lot of the songs that you all want me to release. All in good time, ladies and gentlemen. All in good time, dreamers. All in good time. You know how much we love you, and you know how much I love you. So, with that being said, this is going to be the official start to the year. You'll see it. You'll know it when you'll see it when you see it. You'll know it when you know it, and you will absolutely be blown away. I have a lot in my mind. I've already premeditated this when I was insanity. Oh, I don't like to say that. When I was insane. Gosh, I have such a hard time talking about these switches. It does, I'll be honest. It doesn't really feel surreal to me. If you had told me about these conditions, and you kind of, and this is why I really didn't listen a long time ago either. Because I honestly, I'll be honest. I really don't believe. I'm a very, very what do you call it? What do you call that? When you don't believe in a lot of stuff. I'm not very superstitious, right? So, and to me, and I'm sorry, I'm not downplaying anyone that does have the idea and everything, but I've always thought it was something that was a little too hard to believe, right? Even as I'm going through a lot of these moments, and I wake up completely blacked out, and only to find out I've literally missed a whole week, let alone the longest being a month, out of my life. I still have a very hard time coming to my sense, and and it's so stupid because I don't like saying this out loud because, God, fuck my life. See, this is me being superstitious and shit. I don't like saying this out loud because some part of me, not gonna mention who, will hear this. 왜 안 자고 있어요, 여보? 아, 죄송합니다. 당신, 나 자러 갈게. 이거 라이브만 좀 하고 갈게. 지퍼 잠그자, 오빠. 미안. 잠그자. So, sorry. That's why I sometimes, as I'm talking, I sometimes think, should I even say this out loud? Because it just doesn't feel too real. And it is real. It's real as hell. And you wouldn't believe it if I told you. And again, no one is asking for credibility. No one ever asks for, you're not doing any of this because you want to get some type of assurance, and nor have I ever thought, man, I want people to know and believe me. No, I couldn't give a care less if you didn't, because why the hell? It's the least of my worries because I'm going through so much shit already. And here's the thing: if anyone that has a mental disorder or I'd say a special gift, right, as I would, if anyone tells you that, or if anyone tries to shy away from it, it's not they're not trying to get your acknowledgement or your assurance, and they're not trying to find credibility in people believing it or not, right? They go through enough shit already. You don't have to believe them. You don't have to like go on them and be like, oh, yada 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 yada, right? Again, you're dealing with. I'm sure everyone is dealing with so much shit already. So just let them be, right? They're not doing it for your. You know what I mean? They're not doing it so you can, so to find credibility amongst you, right? They're literally just trying to get by. The word survive hasn't been so much more relevant nowadays than ever. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, love. Remember, love people, right? I love you. 사랑해요. I love you. And again, sometimes you just might not know what somebody might be going through, right? So I would say, if you can be nice, just be nice. It's not too hard, right? No one's going to kill you if you're too nice to them, all right? It will be very, very unfortunate if they do, and honestly, that deserves a special place in hell for people like that. But listen, it doesn't hurt to be nice, right? You'll never know what somebody might be going through, and that's why always give the benefit of a doubt. Don't expect its malice or its standpoint, right? Be kind to one another, ladies and gentlemen, right? And listen, I might be seeing everyone very soon, very shortly, right? I'm always so grateful for everyone. You don't understand. I really am. Let me see the question too. Oh God. To those people who ask about insanity as created now being hybrid, as we as humans learn about ancient civilization and we understand more. Yes, that's a very good point. That 잠시만요. 이름을 보고 있는데 안 보여요. That Stay Pearl Airy has brought up. So I like to say, the more you find out, the more you don't know. So the more you know, the more you don't know. That's essentially I think that's almost like a law of the universe, isn't it? So imagine, right? Just imagine for a second what our universe that we have in DPR, how much we don't know, how much isn't out yet, but how much is on the drawing board. And how much, I don't know. Me included. So, but goodness, you might think, what do you have planned? What do you have in store for our streamers? Ian, gosh, you do not know. You don't even have any idea. Sorry, I keep saying that. You don't have any idea. Just love my music. Thank you, Maury Trey with an E. 발음이 한국 여행 어땠냐고요? 저 한국 여행 진짜 눈물 나오더라고요. 왜냐면 제가 한국에서는 옛날에 살았어가지고 마침 한국을 떠났을 때 약간 뭐라 해야 될까? 이번에 한국 갔었을 때 내가 한국이 뭔가 진짜 나한테 되게 집 같았구나 라는 거를 느꼈어요. 그래서 약간 눈물 흘리진 않았는데 눈물 날 뻔 약간 그런 느낌을 받았고요. 진짜 한국이 진짜 뭔가 내가 이렇게 정이 많이 들었구나 라는 생각을 많이 했어요. 그래서 아무튼 너무 좋았어요. 그리고 팬분들도 진짜 이렇게 물론 이제 잠시였긴 했지만 이렇게 직접 볼 수 있고 앞으로 한국에서 활동 좀 많이 해야 되겠다 이 생각이 많이 들긴 했어요. 그래서 얘기를 하는 건데 네, 아무튼 이건 다음에 얘기해야 되겠다. 아무튼 anyway, so I loved it, and anyway, guys, I'll keep it at that. I love you all, and 한국도 가야지. I need a hug from you. It's 2 a.m. in Indonesia. Well, please, guys, I don't want to keep you awake from sleeping. Skins, Limbo. I'm not going to tell you the other songs. Whoop. 큰일 날 뻔했네. Skins, Limbo, and Such and Such will be out in the album Hybrid. That is all. That is all, ladies and gentlemen. I was going to just toss it out to the world, but I think it deserves a proper packaging, and I think it deserves a proper video. Well, we already have Limbo and Skins, but I think we could do better than that. For our dreamers, anything you guys, anything for you guys. So, just do me a favor. Just hold on a little bit longer, huh? And I promise you, I'll blow your minds away. I promise you that. We found out about a bit of the insanity. We found out what we know about Mono. I do want to introduce not a character that belongs to me, but a character that has changed me. Yeah, that's a hybrid. So, without further ado, I'll see you when I do. Right? I love you all, and stay smiling, stay happy. Does a hybrid have a name? Maybe later you find out. Maybe later. Maybe not even in this album. But yes, the hybrid does have a name. Only actually, I'll go as far as to say only 5 people know the name of the hybrid. And you might be like, how? Because the hybrid is an actual real thing that exists in my real life. And I'm not saying it's like a person, no, but it is an entity. Are you possessed? A lot of the times I thought I was. A lot of times I thought DRD was just literally I remember thinking I'm absolutely possessed and I need an exorcist. Yes, I went to that point, and trust me, I'm not superstitious at all. So it takes a lot to convince someone like me. It takes a lot. But again, the human mind, it's quite a place. It's quite a place. I'll say it's quite a place. Is the hybrid an altar? um, I won't say it's an altar. I'll say it's something that's it's a bit forbidden. Because it isn't. I do have. Okay, well, I know for a fact that you have, what's his name? Sorry about that. Insanity and minor, and you have the process in. That's limbo. That's not hybrid. That's limbo. And limbo is the product of hybrid. But I can't actually show you a hybrid. Someone said no lube, no protection. That's right, you got it right. I think that's pretty universal, I think. So, you might want to check your lube tank. Just saying. If you want protection. But, my God, I'm not saying. 어머나 이안. 어머나. 내 이름 뭔지 알아요? 지기라고 해요. Como digas, cariño. I love you too. Stay strong, girlfriendy. 오빤 신이야. 아니야. 난 신은 따로 있어. 근데 고마워. 사랑해. Out of nowhere. I love your perspective on life. Thank you. I think we do share quite a lot of similarities, you and I, Daniela. So much. 1807. I think that was 1807. Here, let me see if I can read this. Okay, I can't. Te amo, demons. Te amo, I love you too. Te amo, Michelle. It's my birthday. Happy birthday, Wendy. Oh my God, I'm getting tongue-tied. So anyway, I don't know why I just did that. So just wanted to let you in on a little bit of that. Sorry, I'm just going in and out. So just wanted to let you know about the hybrid. I do love you, Matt. I do love you. Te amo, right? So, what was I saying? Shit, I think it's time for me to go. Hi from Italy. I love you all, Remember, your last song. Thank you, darling. Could you send me a damn vein? Sorry, guys. Anyway, so I keep saying I'm a lot. I promise I wouldn't say I'm a lot. 오빠, 내가 지난번에 클럽 앞에서 너에게 선물을 준 거 기억해요? 네. 그리고 그때 팬들이 너무 많아가지고 너무 미안했어요, 진짜. 다 뭔가 한 명 한 명씩 이렇게 얼굴을 보고 이렇게 좀 인사를 하고 얘기도 나누고 싶었었는데 차들이 너무 많이 싱싱싱 이렇게 뭔가 길을 막는 것 같아가지고 약간 위험하니까. 그래서 다음에는 좀 더 큰 공간으로 그냥 아예 공연을 할게요. 진짜 죄송해요. 그렇게 많은 분들이 올 줄은 몰랐어요. I have high standards because of you. Well, we all like to reach, right? But I don't consider. I'm not. Well, I mean, I'm flattered that you think so, but I'm sick of jealousy used people. I'm guessing you put jealous and used together. 사랑하는 거 알죠? 저도 사랑하는 거 알죠? Say my name, please. Medusa Alma. Hello from Greece. Hello, darling. Bonito. All right. Hope to see me live soon. You know what? I really do want to work on my performances, and I split so much of my time, looking into production and making songs and making the videos and all that, and it does get a little flustering sometimes, but that is one compartment that I do really want to work on, and I do really want to be fucking good at it. So, bear with me, guys. Bear with me. We're in this together, right? I do struggle with a lot of things. So, what's it like to direct versus performance? I will answer this. So to direct, it's I would say it's a little bit more hectic because you have to now orchestrate about 50 people, and you have to orchestrate about, roughly like a couple of crews to come together to bring your vision to life. So this is my number one rule, and this has always been my number one go-to. It's learn how to be on board with your team first and foremost, because if you don't have a passionate team, and if you don't have good relations with your team, then it doesn't matter. You could shoot shit all and it won't turn out that good. So always keep that first. That's my always first priority. It's not, then you can work, then you could have good lines and you can have good videos and and good cinematography and everything. So that comes first. So it is a lot harder, and obviously I take part in the editing. Well, I do the edits, and so it's not really the end for me after a 3-day long shoot, and it's only just begun. So that's pretty much what happens. And thank you for being here today. It's been a bad day. Well, Bunny, I hope you have the best of best days coming towards you. There's always going to be a bad day. There's always going to be a good day. But I always say none of them really last. So you just got to make the most of it. It is exhausting, but not as exhausting as switching. Fuck, you can't beat that. Did I say? And that is also a product of my irrational way of eating. But anyway, guys, enough said. Sorry, I think before I trail off here, I love you all so much. I just wanted to jump on. 제가 다음에 와서 또 얘기 드릴게요. 근데 하이브리드에 대해서 얘기를 하고 싶었고, 너무 사랑한다는 거를 얘기를 해주고 싶었고, 그리고 앞으로도 더 열심히 노력할게요, 제가. Right, I love you all so much. Please sleep. If I woke you up, I'm so sorry, darling. Go back to sleep. I would kiss you on the head. Jackson is my friend. Yes, he's an amazing guy. So please show Jackson a lot of love, guys. Show him the most support that you could ever show him. The guy goes through a lot to give you guys the best of himself, right? So, if anything, he deserves a lot of love and he deserves a lot of support. Because a lot of people don't know, how much these artists really put in, not just blood, sweat and tears. They put themselves in, So, if you can, whenever you can, show them love, right? As you have done to me, and I truly appreciate that. I love you all so much, right? So again, doesn't just account for the artist. It counts for your family, counts for your friends, and most importantly, it counts for yourself, right? So show some love to yourself. Love you all. Peace. Take care. I'll see you soon.